Good morning, everybody. Just waking up. And I had this thought I wanted to share. I wanted to instigate a conversation with anybody listening. So, who has seen the movie The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Anyone? I might be dating myself. So, they asked a question in that movie, what is the answer of life? And the answer, after, I think they said 7.5 million years, they created this supercomputer. And the answer is 42. And I don't know why, but I've always thought that was just hilarious. So I was walking down the street the other day in my community, going for a walk during this time, and I was thinking about how the coronavirus came to be. And Apple put out a couple days ago, and it's kind of been known that it came from a bat. And I couldn't recall what bat medicine was. So I went home to my trusty old tarot deck and looked up the bat, which I don't know if it's backwards or not, but it's number 42. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, of course, the answer is always 42. So I wanted to read about the bat and the symbol of bat medicine. So the idea of animal medicine or spirit animal medicine is that when an animal comes across your path, it has meaning, it has medicine for you. And the bat symbolizes rebirth. And I, of course, said to myself, of course, we are in this time of rebirth. So this is what the page looks like. I don't know if you can see it. And I'll read you just a little bit of it. The poem is, "Sacred bat flew to me from the darkness of the cave. Womb-like reflections, answers it gave. Birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipsed, the journey of the soul." So it's about a page and a third, so it's not too long, but I thought it was interesting. And if you aren't familiar with this kind of insight, it's always nice just to chew on. So it says, "Steeped in the mystery of the Mesoamerican tribal ritual is the legend of the bat, akin to the ancient Buddhist belief in reincarnation. In Central America, bat is the symbol of rebirth. The bat has for centuries been a treasured medicine of the Aztec, Toltec, Tulkan, and Mayan peoples." And excuse me if I've mispronounced. Bat embraces the idea of shamanistic death. The ritual death of the healer is steeped in the secrets and highly involved initiation rites. Shaman death is the symbolic death of the initiate to the old ways of life and personal identity. So for me, the way I read that is this process of bat medicine is to initiate, to start the death of our old life, the death of our personal identity. And, it's like the parts of life and the parts of us that haven't worked, haven't really been to fulfill our purpose. So then it says, "The initiation that brings the right to heal and to be called shaman is necessarily preceded by ritual death. Most of these rituals are brutally hard on the body, mind, and spirit. In light of today's standards, it can be very difficult to find a person who can take the abuse and come through it with their balance intact." So in some ways, this time has been very rich and everybody's experiencing it differently, but I think there's this common thread that it is difficult and that it does feel, for some, abuse is a strong word. But I'll continue. "The basic idea of ancient initiations was to break down all the former notions of self that were held by the shaman to be. This could entail brutal tests of physical strength and psychic ability and having every emotional button pushed hard. Taunting and spitting on the initiate was common and taught him or her to endure the duress with humility and fortitude. The final initiation steps was to be buried in the earth for 1 day and to be reborn without the former ego in the morning. This ritual is very similar to the night of fear practiced by natives of Turtle Island. In this ritual, the shaman-to-be is sent to a certain location to dig his or her grave and spend the night in the womb of Mother Earth totally alone, with the mouths of the grave covered by a blanket. Darkness and the sounds of animals prowling quickly confronts the initiate with his or her fears. I love the idea of sleeping in the ground, in Mother's Earth womb, to feel held. It's kind of like when we were all in our mother's womb. Okay, and the last piece is, as the darkness of the grave has its place in this ritual, so does the cave of the bat. Hanging upside down is a symbol for learning to transpose your former self into a newborn being. This is also the position that babies assume when they enter the world from the womb of a woman. So as you can imagine, my main prescription is to hang upside down. There's a lot of amazing yoga poses where we're upside down, even lying with your legs against the wall. If you don't have any sort of contraptions at your house, or maybe go to a park where you can hang upside down from the waist down. So when bat crosses your path, it symbolizes the need for a ritualistic death of some way of life that no longer supports your growth pattern. This can mean a time of letting go of old habits and of assuming the position in life that prepares you for your rebirth, or in some cases, initiation. In every case, bat signals rebirth of some part of yourself or the death of old patterns. If you resist your destiny, it can be a long, drawn-out, or painful death. The universe is always asking you to grow and become your future. To do so, you must die the shaman's death. So I love this book, Medicine Cards. I've used this for, oh my gosh, I want to say 20 years now. And it just struck me that, of course, that movie, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is hilarious, but also this idea of bat medicine and of rebirth and this rich time that we're in. So if anything, I just want to say that do some postures to hang upside down. Take this bat medicine as a symbol, as a medicine, to find the places in your life for rebirth. Okay, just wanted to hop on this morning to share. I want to wake up and shower and grab some tea, but I'd love to just hear your thoughts on what you think. Bye for now.